All righty. Hey, welcome everybody. We are back again with the H7 Business Tech Corner Meet the Team series. And we got a good one today. We have Kristen Kramer from Bold Moves Boss with us. This is going to be very informal. This is a little bit behind the scenes. This is a little bit get to know the team. So thank you, Kristen, for joining today.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I think this is a great idea. So people can see us as, who we are, not just the things that we're sharing with people in Tech Corner.
It is. So let's do just a little bit about you. I love your background. We can already see some things. But before we dig in a little deeper, just tell us a little bit about you and then we'll jump in.
Yeah. I started out in 2011 as sort of reluctant entrepreneur.
That's a good one.
It wasn't something that was in my grand plan. And I found myself trying to figure out what was next for me. And I was like, I have computer skills, so I'm going to start a business around that. And so I just started in 2011 as a solo VA and managed to build it into business management services, where I managed a team that ran everything on the back end of our clients' businesses. And then Bold Moves Boss was born from that as a way to help other solopreneurs avoid those tar pits and thorny brambles that I got stuck in during my growth journey.
I love the name, and I love your metaphors, right? I mean, and I love the stuff that you do. You've been in Tech Corner and you've helped me personally with some some things, right? Making the tip sheets and just bringing value wherever you show up.
I try.
Yeah, good job. And I was reading my script here. How'd you get started? You kind of already covered that. We know where you are. So we're just going to keep rolling here. Again, it's very informal, folks. So I always love to ask people this one. Like, you got to like something about what you do, maybe what you like the most, about where you're at these days.
Yeah, I think for me, what keeps me going and inspires me the most is seeing when I'm working with someone and they have that aha moment. I can see the inspiration in them sort of spark and light back up, and they sort of just have those epiphanies, if you will, when I'm having those conversations with them. So for me, that's the biggest reward, and it's really what recharges me and fuels me to continue building a business and working with people. It's
Yeah,
my inspiration.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that one, and I probably feel that way too, right? Uh, there's drudgery in probably everybody's business. Um,
Yeah.
Used to work and fixing people's problems with computers and technology, and so giving people a lift in their business world, in their life, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, because I think as entrepreneurs, you know we are our businesses, right? So there's not much of a division between us as the entrepreneur and us in our personal life. It's sort of all mixed in with the other.
Ooh, so true, and I think that's true for a lot of people in the H7 world. Solopreneurs, this newish word or something, right? But
Right. Yeah.
like just people out there getting it. You know, um, I even know one of your things is actually helping people when they get big enough to offload and learning what to do. So that is neat. Well, how about this one? So in your field, what about something that people ought to know or could know, or something about they should know that you can enlighten them a little bit?
Um well, okay, so the first thing that comes to mind for me, because this is a conversation I've been having a lot lately, is that building a profitable and thriving business takes time, energy, effort, and focus. And it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I think for me over the last few years, the bone that I've had to pick and what I wish people would understand and teach entrepreneurs, especially emerging entrepreneurs, is that there is no fast, easy pathway to a six-figure business. That it takes time. Most businesses aren't going to hit that in the first year, but it's about taking the action and doing the things so that you are consistently headed in that direction.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. And it sort of ties in, you kind of hinted at that. So a lot of people have them like for like, there's like a myth about your job or your industry or something that this is kind of another way of asking the same thing, but just deeper dive on you. Like, you got anything maybe along those lines?
I think I could write a book about them.
Ooh, there you a book. I love it, on my list.
Yeah, so for me, it's about, okay, I'm going to wax a little philosophical for you here
Come
for just
on,
a
come on.
real short second. We are knowledge and digital pack rats. I realize this about myself even. Like, I have things in OneDrive since 2011. And at this point, I have no idea what's on my cloud, honestly, from years ago. Like, I probably have content for decades saved there that I've just forgotten about over the years, right? And so we gather up a lot of knowledge. We spend a lot of time learning and going to accelerators and webinars and doing worksheets and all of these things, right? To learn. But while knowledge is power, right? That's the saying, knowledge is power. Knowing how to use that knowledge is where it becomes empowering.
Ooh.
So that's sort of the line that I've been towing this year. It's great to get advice and have all of this information and tools and all the bells and whistles and everything. But if you don't know how to use all of those things or how to leverage them to meet your goals or achieve the goals that you've set for you and your business and the reason you became an entrepreneur in the first place, then it's kind of like my old sales and marketing plan when I was in the hotel industry. And it just sat in that binder until
guilty.
Our regional came in to do budgets the next year. And then you're scrambling like, oh yeah, what did we put in this? So, I think it's good that we be continuous learners. We should always, because especially now things change so rapidly. But if you're always creating content, you're always like learning, but you're not actually making decisions and taking action with the knowledge that you're gaining, then you're not serving yourself well.
Ooh, applied knowledge.
Yes.
Power.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that one. And there's probably not a person around that couldn't have a little hint of that in themselves.
We don't like to hear it. It's not sexy. It can be tedious. And I mean, it's not, it doesn't sound like super fun. It's not like we're going on a cruise and drinking Mai Tais all day, but it is in that gap or that work and taking the action and doing the things is where we gain traction and build the momentum.
Oh, solid. Oh, you're full of nuggets today. Now we can pivot a little bit to play along here.
I will.
So what if somebody who's familiar with you or your work or has been to Tech Corner or has met you on Town Squares, the new community, right? You're going to be an alpha team member on another meeting coming up. But what if something like people wouldn't know about you?
they probably don't know that I have a bachelor's of science in wildlife biology.
Oh,
I did use my degree. So for those of you thinking, oh, another liberal arts, it's not a liberal arts, but I did use my degree, and I worked for organizations like Defenders of Wildlife, Campus Ecology with National Wildlife Federation, and I helped communities create grassroots campaigns. So
wow.
I had the experience of going to Capitol Hill and lobbying our representatives and senators, also doing that on the state and local level, and then helping people back in the day. This will date me, but doing things like letter writing campaigns and phone campaigns where you would just flood your representative's office to make a point.
Wow. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
I bet I am one of the few people that have read the public lands grazing legislation.
Frankly, I'm an outdoorsman and a nature lover. We need more people in the world like you these days
Yeah.
and
So,
forever in the,
yeah. Yeah.
that is super neat. All right. Well, let's keep going. Thanks for sharing. So the next one that we love to ask people, like, we know you do the grind, you're putting in your time, you're trying to put your knowledge to work, you're helping other people. But what kind of motivates you to get up and get going in the mornings?
Coffee. Lots of coffee. Um, I mean, it most assuredly is lots of coffee. But again, I think it's really about being able to help people um, ease the weight of the struggle, because it can be a struggle. Like even when you're successful and things are rocking and rolling and you've got more business than you know what to do with, that still creates growing pains, right? The growing
Right.
pains of a growing business. And so there are struggles within that. So for me, being able to hear sort of what a person's struggle is and provide them with an option to make it better or fix it or improve it, whatever the case may be, help them understand it.
Right. Yeah.
um,
No, I love it.
yeah, it's actually, I'm sure you've been in conversations with people where you can literally see just the weight of the world come off their shoulders,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Um,
yeah.
and they're like, and you can just that sense of relief that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that they at least have, a direction or some kind of strategy to, get out of this overwhelming and stressful state they're in.
I love it. And I think the things that you do, and again, it kind of ties back to like, what do you like the most? Like that's kind of bookends this, right? Trying to find that in the day, like who is going to help me make my day today because I helped them, right?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
serving. I'm talking H7 serving, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And a lot of it is around technology. Because technology is supposed to make our lives a lot easier.
It
But it's
can if
complicated
you set it up right.
if you set it up right. Yes.
And I
And
love that's
you
how
have to know how to do that.
yeah, and I know a little bit about you, because we're on the same team there, and some of your stuff is great, and I've worked on it, and I've said it before, and we've helped people, but like you just don't like all of a sudden have a whole stack to hand off to somebody perfectly. It's like figuring out where could you get the help, how do you document it, how do you procedurize it,
Yes.
all of that kind of stuff. And so even that has helped. Like I've gone, oh, okay, let's do this, let's do that. All right. Well, I don't want to get it back into work talk.
We could do a whole show around that.
Well,
That's a tall soapbox that I stand on.
you watch out. We might do something. Well, I'll fire up my whole my podcast game, which is not this one, but we'll
Yeah,
have you on over there too.
there you go.
We could do some deep
I
dives.
could talk for
We love
days.
bringing on subject matter experts, and I think that there's people in the world, myself included, that are in our community and in our network and benefiting from it. And there's going to be a tipping point where like we're blessed and we have work and we need to focus on the what we can hand off, what we can delegate, so we can be better at doing our like higher revenue activities.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And
So
that was a tough lesson for me to learn in my business.
it's hard for everybody, you know. I
Mhm.
mean, not everybody. Some people are great at it, but most aren't. Like nobody can do it as good as me. Anyways,
Yeah.
well, we could keep going. We're going to time out here. We'll make this like 1 or 2 episodes on the podcast.
There you go. Perfect.
So, as we come home here, we want to make sure that people know where they can connect with you online.
The best social channel to connect with me is LinkedIn. I have the others, but we won't go into that. I really prefer LinkedIn. It's my happy place with social media. So that's a great way to connect with me is LinkedIn. My website is boldmovesboss.com. I'm working on it, so don't judge me harshly. And and my email is Kristen with an EN at boldmovesboss.com. So I'm pretty easy to find. And then, of course, I'm in the Mighty Networks with the H7 Town Square.
H7 Town Square.
Yep.
Tech Corner.
Yep. That too.
Watch out. A new meeting coming next month.
Yes. Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we also ask this too. Do you have a giveaway or a lead magnet or some way that people could get a little taste of how good Bold Moves Boss and Kristen is?
I do, and I took a little bit of a unique point of view with what I'm going to share with you. So I want to just give you a little bit of context. In my world, there are unicorn entrepreneurs, which are in the build and launch phase. And then there are dragons who are in the grow and scale phase, and phoenixes who are reinventing and rebuilding. So the business lifecycle quiz that sounds very boring is not, because it's going to tell you which mythical creature your business is.
Ooh.
It is going to help you identify, are you a unicorn? Are you a dragon or a phoenix? And then it's going to provide you with some information about what that means for you, what you might be struggling with in your business, or what that looks like in your business, and some tips on how to get to the next level.
Oh, yeah, I'm just full of colorful metaphors.
I really am.
I'm going to go do that. I'm curious to see what I am.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, everybody does like business life cycle quiz, customer journey quizzes or whatever. And I was like, I didn't want to be just another.
That is stellar. So what happens, folks, it's going to be a link, in this post, in the context of this, and the YouTube description. You'll be able to get to it here when we push this out. So, well, thank you so much, Kristen, for joining today and sharing and giving a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity. And if you're watching this, make sure that you join us on Thursdays in Tech Corner, because you'll get help in how to leverage AI, how to leverage CRMs and automations, and how to outsource successfully. That's a tongue twister. And just a lot of resources for business owners that are looking to grow and get help in their businesses.
Oh, so great. Now, do you have to be technical to attend Tech Corner?
No.
Oh.
You don't. And so it's kind of, confusing, I know. But no, actually, I think it's almost better if I sort of think, I know somebody's going to criticize me for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think the less you know, or if technology is something that you're curious about on what's happening, like in the AI world, for example, or you're saying things like, well, I have a virtual assistant, but nothing's really happening. That might be something. Or, gee, I wish I knew what I'm supposed to do with a CRM, email marketing, all of these things, right? I think at any skill level, it's helpful. I know this last week when folks came into my room, we talked about Fathom, and they are fractional COOs that were in my room, and they walked away with a lot of value and helpful tools and guidance there. But if you're not tech savvy, it's almost better, because what you can do then is you can really ask a lot of questions and get the right information instead of crossing your fingers and hoping for the best.
Hey, so true. I mean, I'm a founder over there, and it's been a premise from the beginning, like, let's learn together, let's fail together. I mean, we're all kind of on the same journey, right?
Yeah.
So, awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Craig.
Okay.
We'll see you guys in Tech Corner.
Okay.